Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today is day 30th. Adopt the culture of truth and good manners. Today's topic is finish all traces of anger. Avyak signal is some children may think that to become angry is not a vice. They think it is a weapon and not a vice. However, anger is a very great enemy for an enlightened soul. Your anger is revealed when you come into contact or connection with other souls. When your anger is seen, the Father's name is greatly defamed. Those who gossip would sarcastically say, "No, now we have seen enlightened souls." Therefore now finish all traces of anger. Interact with others with very good manners.
सभ्यतापूर्वक व्यवहार करूं. अभी हम मोहिनी दीदी
And now we'll listen to Mohini Didi.
ओम शांति.
Om Shanti.
सभी ठीक हो?
Is everyone okay?
अच्छा चल रहा है पुरुषार्थ मनन चिंतन.
Is the effort going good, churning everything?
ऐसे तो क्रोध नंबर 2 विकार है.
Anger is the vice, number 2 vice. And its connection is with the vice of lust.
सुना है कि
You've heard
सारे विश्व में
in the entire world,
काम और कामनाएं नहीं पूरी होती हैं.
lust and the desires, when they are not fulfilled, so then
हिंसा भी कर देते हैं.
people sometimes become violent as well.
मारने दूसरों को मारने तक
This,
तैयार हो जाते.
they're even ready to kill themselves or others.
काम से है.
So the connection of anger is with desires.
तो एक होता है मेरे में क्रोध न हो.
So one is that I shouldn't have anger, and they say that,
देखता है कि ये ग्लास
and someone sees that how empty the glass is or how full it is.
तो एक तरीका होता है ये देखें कि
So one way is to look at it that this glass is only half full, and some say that it's half empty or half full. So if we just pay this much attention that I don't have to get angry, but rather say which power or which virtue am I lacking that I get angry. So there is that sanskar within.
आप बहुत ही efficient हैं.
If you are very efficient,
शक्तिशाली हैं,
powerful, and the other is not as much.
तो उसका कार्य करना जो है,
so his task or his way of doing things, there would something be left out.
और आप एकदम perfect,
and you're totally perfect.
तो भी क्रोध आ जाता है, right?
Still you get angry
क्योंकि आप expect कर रहे हैं,
because you're expecting the other person should also be like this one.
छोटे थे तो मनोहर,
So when we were younger, so Manohar Dadi one time she said, Mohini Ben, if you think this, that everyone should be like you, so you would be very disappointed. Everyone has their own capacity, everyone has their own understanding. So I always remember that.
ब्रह्मा बाबा में धैर्यता बहुत थी.
Brahma Baba had a lot of patience.
धैर्यता के गुण में,
in the virtue of patience, you look at it, you listen to it, any aspect, but you don't react to it. Patience is there, you see, you listen to it, and you understand it. And maybe, if possible, you ask that person, that why did you do this? So sometimes It can take a form of
पर सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये है
defamation. But the biggest thing is that,
करना, देखो मोह दिखाई नहीं देगा,
see,
पर
attachment wouldn't be visible, but anger becomes visible right away.
तो उससे क्या हो जाए कि
So what happens is
संबंध और
that
व्यवहार में भी
in relationships and connections also,
एक अंदर में डर भी हो जाता है,
there is a fear within also.
एक स्वाभाविक
The nature,
जो प्रेम होना चाहिए वो
the
भी नहीं
love that
होता
is
है।
there, that is also
तो
not there.
कौन सी ऐसे गुण की कमी है
So which is
जो
that
आवेश
virtue
आता
that
है?
I'm lacking, that I become angry?
कौन से सम्मान की कमी है
Which self-respect am
जो
I
भूल
lacking,
जाता है
that one forgets
कि
that,
हमने क्यों ये ईश्वरी जन्म लिया,
that why did we take this
हम
godly
क्यों
birth?
योगी बने,
Why did I become
हमें
a
किस बात
yogi?
पर अटेंशन देना चाहिए।
Which aspect do I have to pay attention to?
कई हमको कहते हैं कि आप
So many tell us that
थोड़ा जोर से बताओ, थोड़ा
you
डांट के
can
बताओ
just
तो वो
tell
व्यक्ति
it with a little bit
आपकी
of
बात
firmness,
मानेगा।
or with just scold a little bit so that
कई
person will
ऐसा
listen to
समझते
you.
हैं
Some think
कि
like
किसी
this,
को
that if you
डायरेक्शन देने के लिए
to give
स्ट्रिक्ट होना
directions,
जरूरी है।
you need to be stern.
तो एक बार
So one time,
मेरे ख्याल से
I
डॉक्टर
think
सतीश गुप्ता थे या एक और
it was Dr. Satish Gupta
डॉक्टर
or
थे,
another physician was there.
साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं,
So he's a psychologist.
तो
So
आए थे न्यूयॉर्क में।
he had come to New York.
बहुत अच्छा सिंपल एग्जाम्पल दिया।
So he gave a very simple
उन्होंने
example
जो
that
दूसरा व्यक्ति था
the other person
उसके
that was
हाथ में
there,
पेन दिया,
so he gave
पेन
a
गिर
pen,
गई,
and that pen fell down.
फिर दूसरी बार पेन दिया तो उसने
And
पकड़
then
लिया,
when
तो
again he
बोला
gave
ये
the pen,
पहली
so
बार
that
मैंने
he
क्या
held it.
करा,
So he said
मैं
that the
जोश
first
में दिया
time
था,
I gave the pen, I
अब
gave
मैं
it
जो दे रहा
in
हूँ
with
प्रेम से दे
anger,
रहा हूँ।
and the second time I'm giving is with
कोई
love.
बात अगर आप प्रेम से
So
करते
if
हैं
you say
तो वो
something
बुद्धि
with
में
love,
बैठती है,
so that will be imbibed by
अगर
the
आप जोश
intellect.
से कहते हैं
But if you say it with
तो बात
force,
तो ठीक है, लेकिन
so the point
मन
might
में जो
be right,
फीलिंग्स
but
आती
the
है ना
feelings that
उथल
emerge in
पुथल,
the mind, that there's
तो
a
वो बात समझ में
upheaval,
नहीं आती है
so
ठीक
then
से।
one doesn't understand that thing.
तो किसी को बात समझाने के लिए
So if you want the other
बहुत
person to
जरूरी है कि आप
understand it,
मधुरता
so it's very
और
important that
गहराता से
you use patience
प्रेम
and
से अगर बात
sweetness.
कहेंगे
With love, if you
तो वो
say it,
बात बुद्धि में अच्छी बैठती
so
है।
then they will be able to,
तो
that
सबसे बड़ी
it
बात
sits in the intellect very nicely.
बाबा का
And the
नाम
biggest
वाला
thing is
करना है।
we have to make Baba's name.
मैंने पहले भी उदाहरण दिया है कि एक बहुत ही कट्टर विरोधी था,
We have to make
उसको
his
मधुबन लाना चाहते थे, बहुत प्रसिद्ध
name
था।
famous. There was a very
तो एक बहन से बात कराई
popular
कि
or a
क्या
very
प्रश्न है आपको, क्या संशय
strong
है, वो पूछा। उस
person
बहन
in
के
opposition.
दो गुण
So they
हैं,
wanted to bring him in
एक तो
Madhuban.
मधुरता है, दूसरा
So there was this one sister, she
उसका
had
धैर्य नहीं होता है
sweetness and she's very
कि
patient. She's never
एक
impatient.
घंटा चलता
So
रहा,
one
उसने
hour
बहुत
it
कुछ
started.
बोला,
He came and
ज्ञान
he
के
said so
बारे
many
में,
things
कुछ
about knowledge, and he said
ब्रह्मा कुमारी इसके बारे में, ये
about
बहन
Brahma
बड़ी
Kumaris. And this sister
प्रेम से
was,
जवाब देती है,
with so much love, she
एक
replied with
मिनट
so much
उसको ऐसा नहीं
patience.
लगा
And she didn't
आपने
even
क्यों
feel for a
पूछा,
minute
क्यों
that
बोला।
why did you ask this question? Why did
फिर
you say this?
45 मिनट हुए थे
For after
तो
45
भाई
minutes,
कहता है भाई मैं
so the
तो
brother said,
अभी जाऊंगा,
now I will,
चलूंगा आपके साथ
now I'll
मधुबन
come
जाने।
with you to Madhuban.
फिर उसने बाद में
But
बताया
then
कि
that
मैंने
sister shared that,
क्या नहीं बोला होगा,
what did I
इससे
not
उसको बड़ी
say?
शाय। फिर
Because
उस
so
बहन
he's
को
that person shared
यहाँ
that
से
what did I
मधुरता
not speak,
छूटी,
so that
मैं
she
उसको
should have
आदेश
gotten
दिया
angry, but this sister never
कि
got
ये तो
angry.
जरूर
She did
कोई
not
ज्ञान
leave
योग की
sweetness, but
शक्ति है।
definitely this is the power of
तो
knowledge and
किसी
yoga.
विरोधी को
So if
कोई
anybody
कट्टर
who's in
है, किसी में
opposition,
कुछ
who's
भी
so
है,
strong in his beliefs,
अगर आप
if they
अपना गुण
have, but
बनाए
if
रखें,
you keep on
आपका
maintaining
बोल
your
व्यवहार
virtue, your words,
शांत
and
हो,
your behavior is
प्रेम का हो,
peaceful and of love,
तो सेवा बहुत होती है।
so there's a lot of
ऐसे
service that
ऐसों की
happens.
सेवा
So
होगी
you will
जो
serve so
बहुत विरोधी
such
हैं,
that are very
लेकिन अगर
very
आपको
much in
थोड़ा थोड़ा सा
opposition.
भी आवेश आएगा
But even if you get a
तो
little bit
आपकी
of
बात को नहीं
angry,
सुनेंगे।
so then they won't listen to
इसलिए
you.
बाबा कहते हैं
So that is why
कि
Baba
बुद्धि के
says,
अंश मात्र को भी समाप्त करो, उसका वंश भी
finish
है, अंश
all
भी है।
traces of anger. There is traces of
जनरेशन
anger
दोनों
also, and
समाप्त
there are
करो।
generations of anger also. Children of
बाबा
anger.
कहते हैं कोई कोई
Baba says some
समझते
children
हैं
may think
कि शायद
that
क्रोध कोई
to
बुराई
become
नहीं है,
angry is not a vice.
जरूरी है करना।
that it is important to be angry at this
तो बाबा
point.
कहते हैं कि
Baba
यह
says, they think,
क्या कहेंगे,
what would you say?
शस्त्र है,
It is a weapon. They think it is a
लेकिन
weapon
क्रोध
and not
मतलब
a
ये नहीं
vice.
कहते विकार
Meaning they
है,
won't say it's a
शस्त्र है,
vice, they think it's a weapon.
लेकिन क्रोध ज्ञानी
However,
धर्मात्मा के लिए
anger is a very great
महाशत्रु
enemy
है,
of an enlightened soul.
क्योंकि
Great
क्रोध
enemy.
अनेक आत्माओं
Your
के
anger is
संबंध
revealed
संपर्क में
when you come into
आने से
contact or connection
प्रसिद्ध
with other
हो
souls.
जाता है, क्योंकि अपशब्द भी
Because
क्रोध में
even
कई
the
बार कई लोग
words, when one is angry,
अच्छे पढ़े लिखे समझदार लोग भी
even when people
ऐसे
are
शब्द
educated
बोलते
and
हैं,
wise and they would use such words when they're angry.
तो इसलिए
So that is why
क्रोध को देख
Baba
करके
says when your anger is seen,
आपके नाम की
the
बहुत
Father's name
हानि
is
होती है।
greatly defamed.
कहने वाले यही
Those
कहते
who
हैं
gossip
देख
would
लिया ज्ञानी
sarcastically
को
say,
आत्मा,
now we have seen enlightened souls.
इसलिए इसके
Therefore now
अंश मात्र को
finish
भी
all traces of
समाप्त
anger.
कर सभ्यता पूर्वक
Interact with
व्यवहार करें।
others with very good manners.
ये हमारे मास की समाप्ति है,
This is the end of the month for Avyakt
सत्यता
signals.
की सभ्यता।
So the topic
कल तक तो स्वाहा कर देना चाहिए
was the
हमको,
culture of truth and good manners. So we
बाबा
should
का
be able
नाम
to,
प्रसिद्ध करना है,
we have to make
ब्रह्मा कुमारियों की महिमा सुननी है,
Baba's name famous. We have to
अपने
listen
स्वभाव,
to, if
अपने
you want to
संकल्प और
listen
संस्कार का
to
परिवर्तन
the praise of Brahma Kumari, so we have to
बदलाव।
change our
तो
sanskars
बाबा
and
हम बच्चों
our
को
behavior. So Baba,
कई बार कहते थे,
he used to
रिक्वेस्ट
tell our
करता हूँ
children that
बच्चों
I
को मेरी
request you
खातिर
children that for my sake,
क्रोध नहीं
Baba
करें।
says, do not get
बाबा ने
angry.
कभी भी कहते हैं लाइफ में क्रोध नहीं
Baba
किया।
never in
निर्मल
his
शांता
life
दादी
got
कहती
angry.
थी,
Nirmal
हम
Shanta Dadi
कितना
used
भी
to
कुछ
say,
करते थे,
no matter how much we
बाबा को
used to
क्रोध
do,
नहीं आता था,
Baba would never get
क्योंकि
angry
अज्ञानवश कर रहे हैं ना,
because they are doing
तो
it
क्रोध
out
की
of
क्या जरूरत।
ignorance. So why one
अगर
has to
उसको
get
ये
angry?
मालूम होता,
If he knew or she knew,
एक बार
one
बहुत
time
बड़ा कोई
there was
मेक्सिको से भाई आया था, लीडर था,
a big leader from Mexico had come
वो बता
over,
रहा था
and then
कि
he was sharing that
उनकी फैक्ट्री में शू फैक्ट्री थी,
he owned a shoe
एक व्यक्ति
factory,
था, उस
and
पर
there was a person,
सभी लोग बहुत ही उसको भाई ये ठीक नहीं है,
and everyone used to say, oh, he's not
इसने
right, he's
सोचा
not a
मालिक
good
ने मैं
person.
बात
And
करके
then
देखता हूँ,
the owner thought that I'll go talk to him.
तो वो जब बात करने गया
So when he
तो
went to
उसको
talk
पता
to
लगा
him,
कि
so then he
इसको
realized
तो
that
भाषा ही नहीं आती है,
he doesn't even
तो
know the
क्या
language.
समझेगा,
So what would he
और
understand?
दूसरे उसके ऊपर टूट
And
रहे हैं,
others were just
कहीं एक भी
getting
नहीं देख
angry
रहा
at
कि
him, but
कारण
no one's
क्या है,
looking at it. What is the
तो
reason?
उसने अरेंज किया कि इसको
So then he arranged
भाषा
for
सिखाई जाए,
that he should be taught
और
to
उसके बाद
learn
वो
that
सब कुछ
language. And
करने
after
लग
that,
गया।
everything he started doing
और
correctly.
सबसे पहले
So the first thing,
अभी भी कुछ हुआ रिसेंट,
even now,
पूछो तो
something
सही
happened
उस व्यक्ति
recently,
से
at least ask that
उसने ये
person,
क्यों किया,
why did that person do it?
और पूछने से जब पता लगा
And
तो
when
जिसको
someone
आदेश
asked,
आ
so
रहा था
then
उसको
the one
लगा
who
कि
was
ये तो
getting
जरूरत ही
angry,
नहीं,
so that one thought that it was not really
तो
necessary.
अपनी मधुरता, अपनी
So your own
सभ्यता,
sweetness, your own
अपनी
truth,
गंभीरता, अपना
your
शांत स्वभाव,
maturity, the peaceful
स्नेह,
nature,
ये सब हमें
loveful
अपने
nature,
व्यवहार में
all of that
सदाई
we
बनाए
should
रखना,
always have in our
उससे बहुत बड़ी सेवा
behavior.
होती है,
So through
उससे
that, there's a
बाबा
lot
का
of
नाम
service that happens,
प्रकट
and
होता है।
then we can reveal Baba's name. Om Shanti.
अव्यक्त मुरली रिवीजन
Avyakt Murli Revision from 1969.
ज्ञान के रतन
Jewels of
और
Knowledge,
स्नेह के
Pearls of
मोती
Love. Avyakt Murli. Date of Murli is 20th September 1975. Whilst having power, why isn't there the experience of success and contentment? Just as the Father is the ocean of all virtues, in the same way, do you consider yourselves to be the master oceans? An ocean is imperishable, unshakable, and steady. Looking at an ocean, you would especially be reminded of two particular powers: the power to accommodate, and to the extent that you see the power to accommodate, accordingly, you will also see the power to face. It faces the waves and also accommodates any person or any object within itself. So, since you are master oceans, check within yourselves to see to what extent you have these two powers, to what extent, to what percentage do you have these powers? Are you able to use both the powers at the right time? Do you experience success through having these powers?
तो मास्टर सागर होने के कारण अपने में भी देखो कि यह दोनों शक्तियां मुझ में कहाँ तक आई हैं, अर्थात कितने परसेंटेज में हैं। क्या दोनों शक्तियों को समय प्रमाण यूज कर सकते हो? क्या शक्तियों द्वारा सफलता का अनुभव होता है?
Many children experience all the powers within themselves and also understand that they have these particular powers within themselves. However, even whilst having these powers, in some cases they are not able to experience success. Even whilst considering themselves to be the embodiments of knowledge, bliss, love, peace, and happiness, they are not constantly content with themselves. Even whilst being effort makers, they are only sometimes able to experience the practical fruit, the reward, or the attainment. They observe all the disciplines, but in spite of that, they do not constantly experience themselves to be cheerful.
जो अनुभव होना चाहिए वह कभी कभी ही कर सकते हैं। सर्व नियमों का पालन भी करते हैं, फिर भी स्वयं को सदा हर्षित अनुभव नहीं करते। मेहनत बहुत करते हैं, लेकिन फल का अनुभव कम करते हैं।
They make a lot of effort, but they experience less fruit. Even in spite of making Maya their servant, Dasi, they sometimes experience unhappiness, which is Udasi. What is the reason for this? They have all the powers as well as the knowledge, and they are even following all the disciplines. So, in which aspect are they lacking that they become confused with themselves? The aspect that is missing is that they do not know how to use at the right time, with the right method, the powers and the points of knowledge that they have attained. To be continued. Shanti.
कार्य में लगाना चाहिए उस समय उस रीति से यूज करना नहीं आता है। अच्छा, आगे की मुरली कल सुनेंगे। ओम शांति।